If your relationship feels like a cycle of walking on eggshells, random arguments, silent treatments, and emotional distance, you're not alone. Most people either run from toxic relationships or stay trapped in them, believing there's no way out. But here's the truth. Toxic relationships aren't always hopeless. Sometimes they're just deeply misunderstood. And in this video, we're going to show you the hidden causes of toxic behavior and how to fix it before it destroys everything. What most people call toxic is often just unresolved pain. It's not about evil intentions. It's about poor communication, childhood wounds, unmet needs, fear of abandonment, and emotional immaturity. Let's break that down. When someone constantly criticizes their partner, it might look like hate, but deep down it's often insecurity. They fear being left, so they push people away before they can get hurt. When someone becomes clingy or obsessive, it's rarely about love. It's about anxiety, fear of loss, and a lack of self-worth. When someone stonewalls shuts down completely during conflict, it can seem cold or cruel, but they might be overwhelmed. That was how they learned to protect themselves emotionally growing up. Toxicity is a symptom, not the cause. The real causes? Pain, fear, ego, and unhealed trauma. Psychologists call it the cycle of conflict. It looks like this. One person feels triggered and lashes out. The other person withdraws. The first person escalates. The second person shuts down even more. Round and round it goes, until someone breaks or leaves. This cycle isn't about who's right or wrong. It's about recognition. Recognizing that the enemy isn't your partner. The enemy is the pattern. And until you both stop fighting each other and start fighting the pattern, nothing will ever change. Let me tell you a story. There was a couple together for 7 years. By year 5, it was toxic. Constant arguments, emotional shutdowns, jealousy, accusations. They thought they had fallen out of love. But in therapy, something changed. The woman realized that every time she criticized her partner, she was really asking for reassurance. The man realized that every time he ignored her, he was reliving his childhood trauma where emotions were punished. When they stopped blaming and started understanding, everything changed. Awareness turned resentment into empathy. Empathy turned conflict into healing. The love hadn't died. It was just buried under years of misunderstanding. Here are 5 hidden psychological causes behind most toxic relationships. 1. Attachment wounds. Many toxic traits come from insecure attachment styles. Anxious partners fear abandonment. Avoidant partners fear intimacy. The dance between them is emotional chaos. 2. Emotional unawareness. If you can't name your emotions, you can't manage them. And if you can't manage them, they'll manage you often in destructive ways. 3. Ego and control. Trying to win every argument, needing to be right, refusing to apologize. These are ego defenses, not love. 4. Lack of boundaries. Without clear emotional, physical, and mental boundaries, people feel trapped or disrespected. Toxicity thrives in confusion. 5. Past trauma. Unresolved childhood. Trauma leaks into adult relationships. If you grew up with instability, your brain may confuse chaos with love. So how do you fix a toxic relationship? Here's the truth. It's not about changing your partner. It's about changing the pattern together. Let's talk about what actually works. 1. Radical responsibility. Own your role. Even if you think it's 90% their fault, focus on your 10%. That's where your power is. 2. The pause technique. Before reacting, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, am I about to repeat the same pattern or rewrite it? 3. Speak your needs, not your blame. Don't say, you never care about me. Say, I need to feel more emotionally connected. 4. Daily emotional. Check-ins. Once a day, share how you're feeling without judgment. Just 5 minutes. No solutions, no fixing, just listening. 5. Rebuilding trust. Through microactions. Big promises don't rebuild trust. Small, consistent actions do. Or 6. Learn together. Read a book, Go to therapy. Watch content like this together. Shared learning leads to shared healing. 7. Set boundaries and respect them. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthy love. 8. Cut off external toxic influences. If friends or family are poisoning your view of your partner, protect your relationship. 9. Make repair, not just apologies. Saying sorry isn't enough. Show change, demonstrate care, make emotional deposits. 10. If needed, let go with love. And if change isn't possible, let go, but don't leave angry, leave healed. Not every toxic relationship can or should be fixed. Here are some red flags that require immediate boundaries or even ending the relationship. Physical abuse or threats, repeated cheating, gaslighting, extreme control, narcissistic behavior without accountability, consistent emotional manipulation. If any of these are present, it's not your job to fix them. It's your job to protect yourself. Healing is messy. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is possible. I've seen people come back from years of toxicity, not by pretending everything's okay, but by doing the inner work together. The truth is, most relationships aren't destroyed by one big mistake. They're eroded by 1,000 small emotional paper cuts. But just as pain builds slowly, so does healing. If you both choose it, if you both commit, if you both do the work. Love isn't enough. Awareness, effort, and growth are what make love last. Most people stay stuck in toxic relationships, not because they're broken, but because they never learned how to heal. Now you know how. The only question left is, will you use it?